Hi, everyone, and welcome into the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm Jamie Hirsch. This show is all about you, the fans, because you get to ask the questions to today's guest, and that is Oakland A's right fielder Stephen Piscotty. So there are really two ways to ask a question. You can click the green button below and sign up, or sign in for your chance to ask that question live. Or you can tweet us the questions using the hashtag Chatting Cage. So without further ado, let's bring in our special guest, Stephen Piscotty, into the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Hey, Stephen, I understand this is your first time here, so thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
All right, it's pretty straightforward. We have a lot of great fan questions already. We may get a couple live questions on the spot, so let's get right to it. We have Mackenzie510, who says that you've been hot at the plate lately. That's for sure. 3 games with a home run, 3 straight games with a home run. So what's been the biggest key for you during this stretch?
I've been really seeing the ball well, and trying to have good pitch selection is a big thing, and getting pitches that you can do some damage with. And early on was kind of chasing, getting outside myself. So really just trying to focus on getting good pitches and have a good approach, and it's been working lately.
Yeah, things have been working lately for the team too. What's the atmosphere been like around the clubhouse?
Yeah, we've got a really fun team, and we're all gelling. It's a lot of fun. We've come into this road trip playing some tough teams, and we're handling that challenge really well. And everyone just seems to be really clicking and enjoying it. So we're going to keep that rolling for sure.
All right, let's get to our next question from the fans. Jeff Miller, after a few seasons in St. Louis, and now you're in Oakland. Any big differences between the two?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different ballpark, different team for sure. I was a little, anxious about, joining a new club and kind of getting acclimated. But, after spring training, getting to know the guys, everything was going pretty smoothly, and kind of my nerves relaxed a bit. But yeah, there's differences, and being in the American League, I'm going to a lot of parks that I've never been to. I'm facing pitchers that I've never faced. So there's been an adjustment period, but it's gone pretty well so far.
Well, that's great to hear, and you've been doing great as well. It's time for a live fan question. We've got someone joining us right now. So, hey, take it away. Stephen Piscotty is listening in.
Hey, I'm Anthony, and I was wondering what your favorite city was to play on the road.
Favorite city? That's a great question. One of my favorites is Chicago. We got to go there when we played the White Sox, but when I was with St. Louis, we went there quite a bit, and really enjoyed the downtown area, and a lot of great places to go check out, and places to go eat. So that's one that's definitely been on the top of my list.
Are you a big Chicago deep dish pizza guy, or what was the restaurant of choice when you'd go there?
I feel like every time I go somewhere different, and there's just so many good options. I do love Chicago deep dish, and I also really enjoy going to Second City. The comedy show there, they put on a tremendous kind of improv 2-hour show, and it's hilarious. It's a great time.
That's awesome. Do you do improv yourself? I hear that you might. No?
No.
Just the chatting cage.
I just watch.
Okay, well, we'll do our best improv here to get you through these fan questions. Our next one comes from Chase, who wants to know, growing up in the Bay Area like you did, who did you root for, A's or Giants?
Yeah, I was all A's all the way, and we had season tickets. My dad would bring my 2 younger brothers and I to games all throughout the summer, and I lived at the Coliseum, it felt like, so it's such a cool feeling to get to play there. Went to a few Giants games when I was younger, but A's was my team for sure.
So now that you know all about that Bay Bridge rivalry, growing up, living it, being on the A's side of it, now you get to play for the A's in that Bay Bridge rivalry this weekend. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm really looking forward to that series. Guys have been talking about it, coming up to these few games, and we're expecting sellout crowds, both at AT&T and also at the Coliseum. So it'll be a rowdy environment. Always loved playing in front of a bunch of fans that are really into it. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a great question from Kay Finnegan. We have another one from Rob Palazzo, who wants to know about your nickname, Momo. Now, I don't understand it because I don't think there is an M in your name, your first or your last name. How'd you get Momo?
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. It goes all the way back to kind of when I was in Little League. And so, as I alluded to earlier, I had 2 younger brothers, and we're pretty competitive, and we're kind of when we get together, we're kind of a mess. So we were known as the Three Stooges when we were younger, and I was Mo. The other two nicknames didn't really stick for my younger brothers, but that one seemed to stick for me. And then once it got out there, it just kind of stuck.
And now it's Momo from here on out. Okay, good.
Yep.
We have another fan standing by to ask you a live question. Go ahead.
All right.
Hey, Stephen. Who was your favorite ball player when you were growing up?
One of my favorite ball players was Tim Hudson. And I know he's a pitcher. I know I'm a hitter, but there was something way he went about the game, and I always admired kind of his work ethic and how just he, kind of wasn't the biggest guy, but he played like the biggest guy, and had a lot of respect for the way he went about his business and played the game. And he was just always my favorite when I was younger.
That's a great question. And again, thanks to all of you tuning in right now to the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. We're interviewing Stephen Piscotty, and we've gotten some great answers so far. You just mentioned how your favorite player growing up was a pitcher, so let's stick with the pitching theme. Who is the toughest pitcher that you've faced?
Toughest pitcher that I've faced? That's a good one. I think, Aroldis Chapman is definitely at the top of the list. Faced him when he was with Chicago, and I mean he has a presence on the mound, and he's throwing up around 100, so that's always a tough at bat, and you're just praying you get one pitch you can do something with.
Yeah, it can't be too much fun to face a guy like that. We're going to have some fun, though, and talk about the Clubhouse Vibe, because I understand that the A's are a loose group. They're pretty much known for that atmosphere around the clubhouse. So whether it's with the A's or your time with the Cardinals, who's the funniest teammate that you've been around?
Ooh, the funniest teammate. I'm going to go with, and he's now with Toronto, but Randall Grichuk was always pretty comical, and enjoyed being around him. We were good buddies, and he knew how to get a laugh from pretty much everyone, whether he was trying to or not. He was always one to bring the kind of lighthearted and liveliness to a clubhouse, and I'm sure he's doing that in Toronto now.
I bet he is. All right, good answer. Now it's time for your EDJ question of the day. It is, what's been the biggest key to Oakland's success lately?
I think just being a well-rounded team. We have an offense that's very powerful, and we can score a lot of runs in a quick amount of time. Our bullpen is strong. Our starting pitching, we've had contributions from so many different guys, but doesn't matter who it seems to be. They step up and give us a chance to win, and just a really well-rounded ball club right now, and the team chemistry is strong, and I think we're kind of living and feeding off that underdog vibe, and I think the team does well in that kind of environment.
Yeah, pretty soon they're not going to be able to call you guys the underdogs because you have the best record in the Big since June 16th. But whatever's working so far, it's really been impressive to watch. Let's take another live question from a fan.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I just had a quick question for you.
Hi.
If you weren't playing baseball professionally, what would you be doing?
Another good question. I really don't know. I think, when I was at Stanford, I studied kind of renewable energy and solar power, wind power, that sort of stuff. And I don't know how I would fit into that field, but I would love to work kind of in that field someday and do something. That's one thing that I've really found a lot of interest in, and I think it's really important in kind of today's world. So not entirely sure on the specifics, but somehow in that field.
So let's follow up on that because, I understand that you have a degree in atmosphere and energy engineering. And, it's just from some place called Stanford, which is awesome that you chose to go back and complete your degree in that. Why was that so important to you?
I mean, just getting to go to Stanford was a dream come true. And to get so close, I really just wanted to finish that off. And Coach Mark Marquis, who was my coach there at the time, did a tremendous job in getting us pro guys really ready to come back and make it easy to finish school. I only had to come back, in 2 quarters to finish, and the quarter system made it really flexible and could knock it out in an off season. And there was really no reason not to. And I enjoyed being a student only at school and getting to kind of live that lifestyle, which I didn't quite get to when I was playing baseball and having to be at the field nonstop. So that was awesome.
Yeah, no kidding. Hard to balance both of those things, I can imagine. That great question was from Meg Wallace, and we have another question about Stanford. Aiden Rocco, you and Jed Lowry both attended Stanford. What do you remember from those days together?
Well, we didn't quite cross paths, but we have some similar experiences and stories to share, and we had that common bond. But he was there a few years ahead of me. But yeah, we definitely have that common bond to talk about.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And now with Jed Lowry being an all-star, it's so great to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the
Great
time,
news.
Stephen. Hey, you made it through your first chatting cage session. I would say you passed with flying colors.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. So I'm really appreciating all of you to join us today, too, on the Edward Chatting Cage. It really makes the show go, so we'll have much more all season long. Be sure to check back here for the next edition of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm Jamie Hirsch, and we'll see you next time.